implementation of tariffs from the Trump administration are in effect officially as of today. What do Nevadans need to know?
Well, I'm concerned about it. Not only is it going to make products more expensive for everyday families, it's going to make housing more expensive. Could add up to $10,000 to the cost of house just because of tariffs on materials. And it's impacting our tourism. If people don't have money in their pockets, they can't go on holiday. And people in Canada and Mexico and Europe, where these tariffs have been imposed, they're not as likely to come for a trip to Las Vegas. So it's going to hit on all different fronts.
So people are obviously worried about their 401ks,
Yes.
their retirements, and the stock market in general. How worried should they be in the interim?
Well, I think they should be very worried. Now, some of the long-term forecasts are that it may come back gradually, but if you're a senior and you're retiring, you don't have that long-term. And it's not just the 401ks, it's Social Security and Medicare. If they go after that too, again, you're being hit from all sides.
You obviously had mentioned the impact on the economy in Nevada. Can you go into a little bit more detail about what we could see right now and then kind of long-term as well?
Well, right. If the cost of construction material goes up, that's going to impact housing. They say up to $10,000 per house. That's a serious problem in Nevada, lack of affordable housing. Secondarily, people don't have money in their pockets because prices are so much higher, and everything from food to cars to televisions, then they don't have that extra money to go on vacation, which would be to Las Vegas. Third, the big impact of international tourism is already being felt. You see the numbers coming down in terms of gaming revenue and room occupancy. So it's going to have a very negative impact, and the legislature's in session, and they're quite worried about what the forecast is going to be for revenues.
I would imagine that you are hearing from your constituents about all this. What would their major, or what is their major concern with everything that you're saying?
Well, we've had 5 town halls, and depending on who shows up, they're concerned about so many different things that Trump is doing. You've got some who are concerned about all the environmental rollbacks, some who are worried about housing, a lot of seniors who are just really upset about the possibility of doing away with Social Security, privatizing it, or eliminating Medicaid, returning it to the states, reducing benefits through Medicare. They earn these benefits and they rely on them just to get by.
Governor Lombardo recently introduced the Nevada Housing Access and Attainability Act. How sustainable is this housing bill moving forward?
Well, we certainly need more affordable housing, but this is attainable housing. It's 150% over the average income, so it's not really affordable housing. There are some details, too, about the bill that I don't know how he's going to make it work. $250 million, where is that going to come from when the state's already looking for money to pay for education and Medicaid? There's no use of labor protections, so that's not going to fly very well. And who knows where the land will come from, who will build the houses, where they'll be built. So I think that he's got to make a pretty good argument before that passes the legislature.
What is your take on the recent attacks on Tesla drivers and dealerships in Las Vegas and around the country? Do you think that those who take part in the destruction and in the protest should face domestic terrorism charges?
Well, I certainly don't approve of any kind of criminal action or any kind of property destruction. Look at all the protests that have taken place just this past weekend. All were peaceful. There was no violence. I think maybe one arrest. So those are exceptions to the rule. But it does strike me that they want to call destroying a car terrorism. But when you shoot up a room full of kindergartners, that's just hearts and flowers.
Do you think our country is heading in the right direction?
Absolutely not. I think it's moving backwards. Not only are we doing away with so much of our culture, our history, rolling back environmental protections, moving back to protectionist tariff ages that we haven't seen in 100 years. I don't think it's going in the right direction. And when I look around the world and people who are looking at us from other countries, they don't know what in the world to think is happening. We're not that shining example on the hill that we used to be.
And lastly, what are your legislative priorities this session? I know you're in the minority, so it's a little bit harder to get stuff done, but what are you focusing on?
Well, thank you for asking. It is harder to get stuff done, but if I can be immodest, I was just ranked the third most effective Democrat in the House, so obviously my team is doing something right. We're working on retail crime. That's a big issue. Making sure that FEMA, if FEMA still exists, which we hope it does, can address heat. Extreme heat is a problem in Nevada. Environmental issues are always important. We want to look at public lands and be sure that they are protected. So just bringing things home to the district. And the people, I'm listening to the people, we're out there with those town halls. Some people are afraid to have them, but we're not, and trying to do what they say they need. I believe that the Democrats have got to do a contract for America. What are we going to do if we take the majority, not just what are we opposed to?
Thank you for your time today.
Thank you.